Hello, my name is Archer Tischler. I do basketball tips on YouTube. I'm trying to get NBA draft. I was also reading Scout Talent Show. I have for you Meta AI professional AI videos. So here we go.
You cannot find any words talking about AGI. You cannot find any words talking about the chips. It does not. Chinese government don't understand the importance of AGI. Don't understand the importance of chips. But that means the Chinese government lay more emphasis on the diffusion, on the adoption, on the penetration of AI, and to make AI really make values in production and in the daily life. So the main direction is to move AI from chat to product to services. So the goal was set in two steps. First, by 2027, next year, the diffusion rate of the AI agent and the terminal intelligent terminal will exceed 70%, and by 2030 over 90%. So that's the goal of the diffusion of China.
You might do that on Facebook, Archer Tischler.
Right, and let me turn to you, Tom. Leading an AI company at the
I'm listening
frontier,
to
how do you think
YouTube
about
video.
China's approach, like focusing on the diffusion, and it does not mention
It's
AGI.
talking about
And
world
if we talk
economy.
about the diffusion of
World
AI, what
economy
are the
format
biggest,
reading Davis to
blockers or enablers of
English.
AI adoption?
I'm sure my YouTube
Yeah,
videos
I
where I do
think
basketball trips.
China is a very
Kind of
unique
trash in
market. I
there.
think China market is huge in many perspectives. It has a huge manufacturing industry, huge retail industry. I think many industry give us the environment to build a real scalable system in production. There will be like many data, many use cases that people can try, use AI to couple with. So I think this is one of the advantage in China market. And I think secondly is the openness to new technology, because we have seen it continuously, the pattern in several of the technology waves, in EV, in solar, in smartphone, in autonomous driving. I'm personally surprised that 85% of the Chinese people think autonomous driving is safe and also can improve their their lifestyle and productivities. So that's why I think China has like
Anyways, just
thousands of
follow my
robo
video
taxi
for the
already
basketball trips. I
run
show
in
them
like the tens of
other
the
video
cities.
where I do
So I
basketball
think this
trips.
like
I
openness to
am also
technology,
getting more
really
into
ready to
crypto
embrace new
engineering and
technology
security.
is very
Kia,
unique for
Kia.
China. And also I think
Yeah,
lastly,
music.
I think AI actually helps a lot really deliver a hyper productivity tool for the individuals. Even today, we are still a startup company. We do a lot of hirings. The
This is my
resume that we
unnamed YouTube
receive are personal websites already. Nobody actually give us the PDF anymore. They use the web coding product. People with zero knowledge of code before, but they can create this like beautiful personal website to applying for jobs. So I see this like adoption is from different layers of drivers.
That's right. And Dowson Tencent is serving vast industries, and you see the full spectrum. Just tell us how Chinese, technology and the industrial leaders are integrating AI to drive tangible results.
more interesting in there.
Definitely work with a
He
lot of
started while I did
customers
after
from
Mr.
different
Beast and
industries
myself.
to
I'm
deploy
on
all
some
forms of
basketball
AI.
trips.
When people talk about AI,
Some
I
of the
think
AI is
we
there.
might tend to think of one big
That's not.
system and give it a term AGI, but in fact, in reality, there are many different types of models that serve different purposes, and more specifically, when you look at the different industries, the different enterprises, they are trying to use AI in every single function within their operation. For example, at Tencent, not only many of our programmers are using coding tools extensively to churn out features
features much faster than before. We're also seeing product managers, designers, accountants, basically, from different roles are using these modern tools to automate their work, building tools that otherwise won't be possible to enhance individuals' productivity. Some of the customers that we work with in the retail sector, for example, some of them use Gen photo technology, Gen 3D model technology to speed up their product design cycle. We help a lot of customers to use AI to get better ROI on their marketing dollars that they spend by better targeting, more personalized service that leads to better conversion. And not to mention a lot of AI applications in healthcare. We help some of the pharmaceutical companies with drug discovery. So I think we're seeing a lot of positive energy to endorse AI in the current environment. One thing I want to highlight though is that it's really common in China that people are looking for good ROI. They want to lower the cost of using AI, and for us, we, as part of our cloud technology, we always look for optimization for the cost of using AI so that it can.
Anyway, that's quite interesting.
Distributed, it can be diffused to a much wider community, leaving no one behind.
Ishan, let me bring back your global investment perspective. Now you have heard about China's national strategy and also these business dynamics. What do you think about China's, AI plus development? And do you find it maybe how do you compare it to global AI development?
Yeah, so my view is one to starts from the top. Yeah, so it's the discipline and direction, whether it's a country or a region or or even if it's a company. So in our company, I went and we assigned 10% of the yearly objectives of all chiefs that they have to see how to adapt the AI, and not to adapt AI as an interface, but how to transform that in actual efficiency. Now, if you take that example and move it to a country, you'll see the compounded benefit to the economy. Then you look at the open structure of the China AI philosophy, let's call it. Then you have the non-open structure, okay, and that signal that the benefit, they want to see it to trickle down into the economy, into the companies, so it's a more affordable. So it's not the benefit of that company, of that product, the return of that individual. It's not an individual, it's an economy. And this is very interesting. And they have applied that across the economy. Now in our region, you will see also very leading models in UAE, for example, and how they want to make the AI as a part of mandatory learning process in schools. Also in Bahrain, yeah. So different countries, they are taking different commitment levels, and
look at my video. I think it's quite awesome. But now it's turned to AI.
Now we are seeing
And
AI becoming as a
all
part
night I
of
was
the
watching
lifestyle.
this NBA
So
draft
it's a part of the lifestyle
video.
and how
Of,
you
this
utilize
is
that.
more
But
like for
it's very interesting to see
what's
what's the
AI
game.
is
I think
doing.
China is
It's
looking
not a function.
to
It's
create
a
value
professional power. It's really a power.
throughout the economy. Very clear, with very specific objectives across the economy, not just as a across companies, and and this is the difference in the philosophy, I think.
That's right. That's a very, your observation is very right on the point because China is really integrating AI into various aspects of the economy. And talking about the economy, it's ultimately is about people's economy and how we work. Professor Guang, in your opinion, how is China's AI push influencing workforce strategies from talent development to organizational design?
Actually, back to the national initiative AI Plus, there are six focuses are identified. First is to use AI to empower sci-tech R&D, and second is to enhance the capability of our production industry, including agriculture, and to increase the quality of our production, to reduce the carbon emission, and so on and so forth. And the third is to increase the domestic consumption. That is very important choice to make this, because that's on the other side. China is trying to decrease the trade surplus worldwide, so we increase the domestic consumption. Early this morning, I heard from Jingdong JD that the goods named with smart has doubled the last year, and the fourth one is to increase the welfare of the citizen, including education and healthcare. Talking about education, now in China we have very ambitious program to embed AI, basic literacy, from the primary school. And also in university, the AI agents widely used. For example, in my university, there's about 1,000 different kinds of agents is used by professors and students to help their So that's the program. I think it is very important for the young people to have the capability to use AI. We don't know the future job, but we know definitely the future job.
There's many more functions that I'm going to reveal in the next videos. Archer, B-Star, namely 33 Archer, just on Facebook. You can add me on Facebook. It's me and Olympics or Eric and Oliver. And the draft. I was a bit of that time. Check out this video. They're very cool.
China and other major countries when it comes to like infrastructure or energy or other key elements to drive the future AI development. In your opinion, what support
Elon Musk say AI Arthur.
skilling the successful
AI Arthur.
use?
AI Archer Tischler. AI Arthur
I think
Tischler.
there are definitely differences that trying to do. I think we have built a comparable state-of-the-art performance model, but by only using 1% of the resource of the comparable frontier labs. So I think the difference is from day one that we know that we don't have the luxury to just scale up the compute. So I think our development approach is more about we do a lot of fundamental research and innovations. So the founder of the company is actually from academia. All the technology of AI actually all from academia, very open community. And then we actually focus a lot on doing the fundamental research to try to increase the efficiency. So I would say the efficiency of development is very important, and not many companies can do that. I think a lot of the research are just stay at the lab. But we spend a lot of time to making all the research work in a production system with all the engineering mindset to make it work at scale. Like Moon, the optimizer that we are using, we are the first one to make it workable in a large language model training. And also we have the linear attention. We call it a Kimi linear, which is faster than the full attention system. So I think all of things to make sure that the efficiency is really, really high. And this is what what has
Tischler
been
Archer
defined when you're developing
202
the AI
at
systems from China.
gmail.com.
So I think that from the
I would
support
appreciate it. Would be cool.
perspective, definitely infrastructure is very important. I think China always have an infrastructure first thinking. Whenever doing everything, they build the highway and they build the electricity plants. The huge data centers in multiple cities. So I think that really makes the supply very, very cheap. So that will not, unblock the innovations from other technologies. So I think that would be very helpful. And but the company also needs to be extremely efficient.
So efficiency is a key word here. Dawson, would you agree? Would you like to list some of the factors, the most important to scale on AI development in China and how is China doing that?
Well, efficiency is definitely a very important drive in the China market. But in addition to that, I think one thing that's of note is that the China AI ecosystems or technology ecosystems in general is very vibrant. There are a lot of players in the model side compared to some other markets. I think the number of model companies, we have a lot more in China, and in fact, some
Hundreds of them.
and they work together too. Yeah, right. A lot of them are open source, and two of the biggest IPO in the Hong Kong Stock Exchange this year were companies with very different focus. One focus on the consumer side, overseas market. The other open source, but more on the enterprise side, and including Moonshot. It's also a partner of ours, even though we also have our own model called Hi. But the interesting thing is that there's so many players in the ecosystem, with open source being a very strong driver that helps lower the cost of doing the inference using AI. We're seeing the cost of using AI in China, at least for the past 18 months, continue to come down. And